Hey guys, it's the Artsy Night Elf, aka Bella Goldwyn, and today I'm going to be showing you how to bring your artwork to life from this to this using just a simple shading technique. All you're gonna need for this is a device with a drawing application on it and also a pen. What I'm using here is my iPad with Procreate. Procreate is super cheap. It's very affordable. I think it's like $15 or something. Plus I have an Apple Pencil right here. If you can't afford an Apple Pencil, you could purchase a cheap digital pen online that has Bluetooth that you can connect to your iPad instead. A mistake that beginners tend to make a lot is when they're shading, they just select the main color, which is turquoise in our case, and then they just select a darker color of turquoise and they use that as their shade. And vice versa. For their light colors, they just select their main color and they select a lighter color. What happens is when you try to shade this way, your art turns out really muddy. So instead, I recommend you do this. Select your main color, and instead of using a darker color of your main color, I want you to go to the cooler side of your color wheel. So here I'm going towards the right because that's where the cooler colors are. And I want you to select a darker color of the cooler color. And the color that we have here is a more bluey, closer to navy blue kind of color. And you're gonna use that to shade. For the highlights, you wanna do the same thing. Select your main color and then go on your color wheel and go towards the warmer side. And pick a lighter color of that color, which would be a light green. And you're going to use that color as your lighter color. Now I'm going to show you how you would apply this to your art. So as you see here, I have a face and I also have a circle. I'm going to start off by showing the technique on the circle to make it very easy and practical for you to understand. Then I'll show you how I use the shading technique on a face. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to select the color of the sphere. And you're going to go to your color wheel here and you want to select the color knob right here and you want to slide it slightly towards the right, which makes it more blue. Now you want to take the color and select a darker blue. Next you want to go and use your airbrush. You want to go to the layer that has your circle on it. You want to select a new layer and then select the option clipping mask on that layer. And what that is going to do is wherever you draw, all the paint that you're drawing is only going to show up on the circle and not around the circle. Let's say I'm shading the circle. What happens is all the paint is also going around the circle and on the circle. But once I select clipping mask, it only shows up on the circle. So now with our color that we selected, which is a darker blue, closer to a navy blue, we are going to take our soft airbrush. We're going to make it quite large. Now I'm going to gently paint the bottom of the circle. And this is going to be our darker shade using the color that we've selected. Now for our highlight, we're going to select the main color again that we had before. Now we're going to go back to this color wheel and we're going to go towards the right. Now as you see, the color is turning more green. Now we're going to bring the color up a little lighter. Now we want to create a new layer and we want to select clipping mask again so then we stay within the circle. Now select your soft airbrush like before. Make sure your airbrush is big once again so that way it doesn't look very streaky when we draw. And you're going to now draw that green color on the top of your sphere. Nice and gently. At this point, you can see that it looks a little streaky in some areas. I'm going back to my shading layer and I'm taking the smudging tool, making sure that my airbrush is big enough so it doesn't look chunky. And I'm just blending in. I'm blending in my shading. As you can see right now, it already looks a lot better. It's not a boring, stale turquoise. We have some variation in the color. We have turquoise, we have a darker blue, and we also have a lighter green. If I take away the highlight and the shading, it's just a plain old circle. Let's apply that same technique to the face. So once again, let's go to the layer that has the main face color. So I'm going to make a layer on top of it. I'm going to select clipping masks so all my shading stays within the realm of the face. And once again, I'm going to select the color of the turquoise skin. I'm going to go to my color wheel and I'm going to bring the color down to a cooler color. And I'm going to take and select a darker version of this blue color. Once again, let's go to our airbrushing soft brush. I'm going to make sure my brush is big enough and I'm going to start shading the bottom of her face very loosely. I'm also gonna give her some shadow under her nose. I'm gonna select a smaller airbrush for this because there's not as much space for her nose there. I'm also going to shade her eyelids. I'm also going to shade under her lip. Using my smaller airbrush, I'm also going to shade her cheekbones. Using a larger airbrush, I'm also going to shade the sides of her face. And let's shade around the nose as well. Give her some contour there. Lovely, now we're going to do the highlight. For the highlight, I'm going to select the turquoise skin color again. I'm going to open a new layer, select clipping mask on it. I'm gonna go to the color wheel and I'm going to go to the left to a warmer color. And then I'm also going to bring up the color and make it lighter. Now let's shade the parts that have highlights. I'm gonna shade the top of her head with this green. I'm going to shade her nose. Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect because we can always use the smudging tool afterwards. I'm going to highlight the top of her cheekbones. Lovely, she is coming to life. So if you feel like some parts don't look as smooth, just go back to your layers and select the smudging tool here and just fix up anything that does not look smooth. There you go, that is the little color shading technique that you can use to make your art look more vibrant. This is what it looked like before and after. Anyways, if you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content, and also check out my Patreon. It just came out the other day. On my Patreon, there's more videos, there's more exclusive art, NSFW art, and mail tiers as well. So go and check it out. The link is in the description below. Bye!